And next boss will be Zek'voz, Herald of N'Zoth. So this boss is an interesting one. I believe I've got Salut's video for this one, or somebody's video. Whose video do I have here? Yeah, I believe, yeah, this is Salut's raid. All right. So this is an interesting boss fight. And again, boss is fundamentally two things: positioning and kill ads. This fight is no different. I love this raid because it is the two rules Sparty's been trying to ingrain into raiders for the longest friggin' time ever. Here we go. We're gonna pull it off for you guys there. So let's start off with this fun boss here. All right. Yeah, we'll start off with a little intro. All right, so they've got Salute here, and the other one's pulling Voss off. So yes, again, Zek'voz, the little Garalon-looking guy, a little uglier. Initially, they're going to spawn, or they kill him, or, sorry, attack him on this side. He does have his various abilities. There is raid-wide damage going out through the surging, not surging darkness, the little Titan Sparks. It's random damage. It's something for the healers to heal. Again, the tanks are dealing with their Void Lash. So you're not in front of the boss. He does a shatter ability for the tanks as well. Now the big one for raiders to be aware of is the big surging darkness ability. So you see lots of circles once he gets to 100 energy. Here it comes. All right, so this is the really important one. So there are three circles. So there are three patterns to this major ability. There is a one that's I'm going to call these outer, middle, and inner. Right, that is the easiest way to explain it: outer, middle, and inner. Right here, this is outer. They're running into the outer circle. They're moving the boss as well, right? Because you don't want to be standing in it. If you stand in these things, you're basically going to die, right? You're basically going to die in the bad stuff. This is the middle section. And then there is the intersection, or the Eye of the Storm, and that is what is safe. So again, you're moving with the boss. It's pretty straightforward. Don't stand in the bad stuff. Now, as well, there's going to be ads that are going to be spawning here in a second. These are the Silithid Warriors. I believe it's Silithid, not Karathi Warriors at this point. Let's see if they turn them around. Where are you, little warriors? Did they kill them already? Did I miss it? Oh, here we go. Okay, so here on this testing, they were Karathi Warriors. They're Silithid Warriors, and basically what they do is they fixate a player, and you've seen fixate mechanics a million times before. These things can be CC'd though, so what is best is get a Blood Decay, grip them, stun the crap out of them, AoE them before they reach the targets. Once they do reach their targets, they're going to apply a nasty debuff dot on them, plus slow them. So think of the slow debuff plus the circle ability that you just saw. That's not a fun combination. So here they're going to grip most of them together. There you go, there's the grip. They missed one. They're going to AoE the crap out of them, just absolutely murder them, finish off that last one, and then back to the boss, right? So whenever you guys are doing mechanics on any boss, the goal is to turn any boss into a patchwork or training dummy fight, right? By killing ads, you are removing a mechanic. It is something you don't have to even worry about. And players, you guys as raiders, can kill stuff no problem. You can do training dummies all day long. That's what you guys do, right? So to remove a mechanic entirely like those ads makes fights easier. There's less chance for things to happen. The other ability here, once we transition into the next phase, is the Cthulhu Beam. Or sorry, in phase one, the eye beam. What it does is, if you guys ever did Cthulhu, for those of you that played 13, 14 years ago like I did, is it is a jumping, you can ring a piece of them as well so they don't reach you. Whatever you do, right? Just don't let them reach their players. This one jumps to other players. You can see what happens. So it's going to actually target a melee here. The melee were not spread. So for every person that it jumps to, it's going to do more and more and more and more damage. So you can see what happens. There you go. So look, 2 people died, 1, 2, these. So it looks like this guy got hit first, jumped to Revelation. You guys can't see this, sorry. Jumped to Infi and Infe or whatever, and then this Coaster's low guy also died. So they were just too close. When the beam is happening, you need to spread the hell out. It can hit at max 2 people, otherwise it's going to absolutely kill them. So when the Cthulhu beam or the eye beam comes out, make sure you're spread, and that's important in some of the later phases as well. All right, so this is phase 2. In phase 2, you're going to get some of the similar abilities, but you're going to deal with the these little Void Weavers. There's 3 that spawn. One here, like in that sort of triangular position. There's one on the right side if you see my mouse there. One here, and then one on the opposite side. These things can be stunned, interrupted, whatever. But they need to be burned down. So nobody should be on the boss at this point. Every single person should be switching off to his Void Weavers because, again, it is position and kill ads. Again, what you want to be doing with these interrupts, when things don't get locked out of their school, which means, like, if you guys get interrupted in PvP, and your holy light is interrupted, your holy school is interrupted, your holy school of spells. Or if you're a warlock, it's your affliction or shadow school of spells, but your destruction ones can still work. With these ones, they don't get locked out. The goal is to interrupt later into the cast, right? Don't interrupt like 0.1 seconds because it's cutting really close, but like 1 second before it goes off is advantageous to do so. So here they're finishing off these ads. Now what you're going to see here is the other ability, which is a little Cloud Dream ability. If you guys remember what Zek'voz, if you guys remember doing Yogg-Saron in the clouds, well, one person gets targeted by these clouds. Now these clouds, you have to run them the hell out of the way. Again, remove mechanics away from the encounter. You can see people running off to the right side here, and you'll see later on, they're going to drop these little puddles, these clouds. So he ran them all the way over here. That is fantastic. Look how far this guy drops it off. Look. Now you don't have to worry about this little puddle. This puddle is a little shit puddle. If you run into this puddle, you guys remember what happens when you're doing, Yogg-Saron and somebody runs into the clouds? It spawns a big, massive ad. You don't want to deal with that crap. So please, if you have this debuff, run it the hell out. Use these tunnels where possible and get it away from the raid. Because the raid's going to have to move and dodge stuff, and you don't want to be dodging puddles as well, right? You want to remove mechanics from the raid wherever possible. So again, we're going to rinse, repeat. There's a Surging Darkness. Because again, you don't want to be dealing with this crap that this guy spawned, right? Right here. That is the worst possible space to drop it. Drop him away from the raid. Don't deal with that mechanic. Yeah, you can lock it out, absolutely. So again, this is the outer ring that they're running to. Now we're going to go to the middle ring. And again, if you guys remember Terrace of Endless Springs, same ability here. Do you guys remember the lightning boss? Now here's what happens. Guess what? They interrupt, or sorry, the abilities overlap, which sucks, right? Guess what? Melee can't be on this ad. They also can't be on the ad down below here, which means range need to have priority interrupts when it overlaps like this. So here they're going to murder this one, stun it, interrupt it, whatever. Range are going to get those interrupts early on, and then melee are going to shift off as well. But again, it is priority to interrupt those ads, kill them. And you can see here, this little guy, this little druid-looking guy, again, dropping those things off. Great spot for those guys to drop them off. Not in the middle of the raid. They're going to blow it up. Keep doing it until phase 3 starts. So at around 40% here, and about 3% they're going to transition to the last phase. The last phase, of course, is a fun phase. They're going to hear out of it as well. So this guy, look, this is the ability right here. Projecting Yogg-Saron begins casting Rotting Deceit. I thought this guy got targeted. Maybe not. It's a different video then. All right, they've transitioned into the, there you go, clickbait. He's going to run it off as well. Look at this guy. Look at him go. That is fantastic. All right. So in this last one, they're going to be doing more and more damage. You can see the Titan Sparks. You can see people's HPs. Well, you guys can't see the HPs. But the HPs are dropping tremendously. Now, the last thing that happens during this phase is these purple orbs. These orbs of corruption, think of the orbs of Elisand, right? For those of you that did Elisand in Nighthold, you have to soak these orbs. If you miss this orb, you wipe, right? It's soaking orbs. You have to be in the right position, or else you're going to wipe. Now, these orbs give you a massive, massive health gain, damage increase, healing done, right? But this orb is going to now bounce to another player. Eventually, you're going to get mind control and they're going to have to kill you, but you want to utilize this buff plus heroism. Now, the cool thing about this buff is if you listen to this video, they actually communicate which way they're going to throw the buff. Whichever way your character is facing, that's the way the orb is going to go. So you're going to see it go from right here to right here. So the person's going to run into it. They're going to run in, I think, the last second. The orb is coming down. You see the big purple ball there. Yeah, Infi is going to drop it, and it's going to go over to the side here. Now, this guy, this little boomkin, he's actually going to face himself back this way. You don't want this orb going into the raid here. So yeah, you can cast things on an angle. Watch him actually turn his character. Slightly there. There's the character. He's turning himself. As it's coming down, it's going to land back right here in the middle for somebody else to soak. And now the other thing is, yeah, your characters that get mind controlled are going to have this psychic scream ability, which is not fun because it causes an uninterruptible psychic scream type thing. So stun them, blow them up, grip them, whatever, but they're going to fear everybody, and that's not a fun time. You can see all these guys get feared. You can't really cleanse that because it's not cleansable. And again, here, this guy's going to stand in time. So at the same time, watch this. So now there's another orb spawning very soon. All right, so that one gets spawned. All right, look, this one has to be stood in, or else the raid will wipe, right? Was it this one or another one here? I think there was actually one in the back. I think there was another orb. I could have sworn. Let me go back here for a second. Because I know this mage had a really good move. Can't remember which one it was. But yeah, they basically stood in it with an ice block to make sure the raid didn't wipe. Was it this? Yeah, there we go. Look at that. You see this? This is smart. This is smart play right here. If nobody soaks this, the raid's going to die. So this mage ice blocked himself. He could bubble, whatever, to not take damage from the ring, but to soak that orb, which was super, super important. Raid does not wipe. Buff applied, doesn't matter. They're going to kill off this little warlock, and you can see here the legendary guy, based off those damage meters, they do a lot more damage with this, and there's the cast there. There you go. Again, dropping the stuff off to the side. They get pretty close to wiping at this point. There's another Orb of Corruption. There, this guy's going to get grip in. Actually, they can interrupt this cast. My fault on that one. There you go. There's another one. They're going to start fearing each other. Again, you want to burn the boss at this point and utilize some of your strongest DPS should be getting that buff first, so they really gain that buff. Can some people soak the orb until it get MC'd, or does it always have to be a new person with the buff? I don't believe you can get it a second time. Yeah, I'm quite sure you can't. So, but yeah, again, this was beta testing. Ignore those numbers. That was just, a different time thing. But that's the fight in a nutshell. Again, good positioning, killing those ads, most important thing. And I'm giving you guys a very general overview of these bosses for what you should be doing. Right? I mean, tanks will be doing their own thing. You'll be doing tank swaps. Again, it's tanking 101, right? Like, don't face the bosses towards the raid. Good movements, being proactive, all that stuff. But yeah, that was pretty demo nerf.